Back in the olden days, cameras weren't as common as they are today, so getting your picture taken was a pretty big deal. Some people from history were lucky enough to live long lives and see the invention of photography. These personalities include Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, who lived to be 56 and had several photos taken during his time in office. Then there's Queen Victoria of the United Kingdom, who reigned for a whopping 63 years and had plenty of photos snapped of her during the 1800s. It's pretty amazing that we can still see their faces today, thanks to the magic of photography. Let us show you some of the historical figures whose faces are with us luckily through photography. But before we begin, please remember to press the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and show your support by liking and sharing the video. Having said that, let's start. John Quincy Adams. John Quincy Adams was the 6th President of the United States, and his dad was one of America's most important early leaders, John Adams. Sometimes people forget about him when they study history, even though he did important things in politics. He was born in 1767, and the photo we have of him is from 1843. It's really amazing to think that people born in the 1700s like him got to see the rising era of photography. This shows how long and incredible human history is. Charles Darwin. Born in 1809, Charles Darwin stands as an iconic figure in the world of science. Surprisingly, some might not know that there are authentic photographs of him in existence. Darwin's contributions to science were so profound that when he passed away in 1882, his influence had permeated not only scientific circles, but also literature and politics. The old picture taken from around 1854 shows the man who taught us a lot about how animals and plants evolve, along with the nature of the world. Uncle Sam. Did you know that the iconic Uncle Sam was based on a real person? Well, if not, then let me introduce you to Samuel Wilson. Born back in 1766, Mr. Wilson had a rather unusual profession as a meat packer in Troy, New York. During the War of 1812, he played a crucial role for supplying meat to the troops, which he packed into barrels stamped with the letters US for the United States. However, folks started jokingly calling it Uncle Sam instead. This clever twist on his initials quickly caught on and spread like wildfire, becoming a part of history. A picture of him was taken around the 1850s and happens to be the only known photograph of the real Uncle Sam himself. Daniel F. Bakeman. Daniel F. Bakeman, born way back in 1759, holds a special place in history. He was the very last soldier who fought in the Revolutionary War, and remarkably, he received a pension for his service. Furthermore, in 1868, when he was a staggering 109 years old, someone captured his likeness in a photograph, and the photograph survives today as a window into the past. Sadly, Mr. Bakeman passed away just a year after this photo was taken, but his incredible story lives on as a testament to the enduring spirit of those who fought for the birth of our nation. Frederick Douglass. Frederick Douglass, who looked very serious, was a hero for the people who wanted to end slavery in the 1800s. He became free after escaping from slavery in Maryland. A picture was taken between 1847 and 1852. Douglass cared a lot about how people saw him, and he wanted to appear as a strong and serious person. A famous feminist at the time, Elizabeth Cady Stanton, once said that Douglass seemed very powerful when he was angry. John Tyler. Born in 1790, John Tyler swiftly assumed the role of the 10th President of the United States following the unexpected passing of William Henry Harrison due to an unspecified illness. Tyler strongly championed states' rights, but regrettably his legacy remains unfavorable even in modern times. A rare photograph captures a moment from 1845. Furthermore, in 2020, John Tyler's grandson, Harrison Ruffin Tyler, defied the odds by still being alive at the impressive age of 93. Emily Dickinson. Emily Dickinson, a well-known poet of today, didn't become famous while she was alive. It's intriguing because even though she wrote around 1,800 poems, only a few of them were published before she passed away in 1886. She was born in 1830 and had a rather sad and lonely life. The image of her was taken in 1847 and is the only confirmed photo of her after her childhood. Now, before moving on to the next, let us show you a quote and see whether you can guess the person or not. Whatever you are, be a good one. Yes, you got it, Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln, who was born in 1809, was the 16th president of the United States. He's considered one of the most famous and important politicians in American history. The precious picture of him was taken when Lincoln was 37 years old. At the time, he was working as a lawyer and had just been elected as a congressman. The photograph is really special because it's the oldest known picture of him that we have. It's like a window into his past, showing us what he looked like when he was younger and starting his career in politics. Lincoln went on to do many great things as a president, and this photo helps us connect with his earlier life. Harriet Tubman. In 1822, a lady named Arminata Ross was born, but most people know her as Harriet Tubman. She played a big role in the abolitionist movement in the 1800s, which aimed to end slavery. Harriet Tubman is famous for her important work with the Underground Railroad, a secret system that helped enslaved people escape to freedom in places like the northern United States and Canada. The picture we have was taken in 1868 in Auburn, New York. In today's language, it's a snapshot of her life. George Armstrong Custer. In an old photo from 1860, you'll see George Armstrong Custer, who was born in 1839, looking quite different without his iconic mustache. Custer's life was marked by a series of setbacks. He didn't do very well in his class at the United States Military Academy, and he later gained a reputation as a not-so-wise cavalry officer, with doubts lingering about his military skills. However, what he's most famous for is his dramatic defeat at the Battle of Little Bighorn, where he lost his life. This historic moment is now forever remembered as Custer's last stand. Marie Curie. Marie Curie, who was born in 1867, was a scientist from Poland. She achieved something remarkable. She was not only the first woman to ever win a Nobel Prize, but also the only woman to win it twice. A very rare photograph of her was captured in the year 1900. Chief Seattle. Chief Seattle was born in the year 1786, and he held a significant leadership role among the Suquamish and Duwamish Native American tribes, residing in the regions we now call Washington State. His historical significance lies in his efforts to establish peaceful and harmonious connections with the European American settlers who were arriving in the Pacific Northwest during this time. So profound was his influence on the region's history that the city of Seattle, one of the major cities in the Pacific Northwest, was named in honor of him. The photograph capturing Chief Seattle's image dates back to the year 1864, providing us with a glimpse into the past and a moment frozen in time. Vincent van Gogh. We often encounter paintings by the famous artist Van Gogh, who was born in 1853. It's quite intriguing to come across an authentic photograph of the artist. What's fascinating is that he didn't achieve significant recognition as a pioneering post-impressionist painter while he was still alive. Surprisingly, it wasn't until after his tragic passing at the young age of 37 that his sister-in-law inherited his paintings and lent them to different art exhibitions. A particular photo was captured in 1872 when Vincent van Gogh was just 19 years old. Arthur Wellesley. In the late 18th century, a remarkable figure named Arthur Wellesley came into the world precisely in 1769. Now let's fast forward a bit to the early 19th century when he rose to prominence. Arthur Wellesley became one of the top leaders in the British Army during the epic Napoleonic Wars, but it was at the Battle of Waterloo where he truly shone. And his triumph there not only put an end to the Napoleonic Wars, but also transformed him into a superstar war hero across Europe. In fact, Arthur Wellesley wore multiple hats, and one of them was quite prestigious. From 1828 to 1830, he donned the role of British Prime Minister, guiding the nation through a crucial period. And here's a glimpse of the man himself frozen in time through this photograph taken in 1844. Geronimo. Goyakla, who is more commonly recognized as Geronimo, held a significant leadership role among the Apache people. He was born in the year 1829. Geronimo is especially renowned for being the final Native American leader to officially yield to the United States military. Subsequently, he spent the last 2 decades of his life in captivity as a prisoner of war. The photograph in question was captured in the year 1887. And let's wrap this list up with a controversial personality, and of course, his picture. Robert E. Lee. Robert E. Lee is famous, but not in a good way. He was a Confederate general during the Civil War, and people still didn't like him because he supported slavery. In this picture from 1845, one can see him with his son, William Henry Fitzhugh Lee, who is probably named after some important people. And that's all for now. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell, because trust me, you don't want to miss out on the exciting content that's just around the corner. This is your host signing off, wishing you all an awesome day. Stay tuned!